St. Louis, the city we know for our favorite sports teams, favorite food, and to call our home. But I don't think you realize how many other cool people call St. Louis home too. But this I can tell you. The first famous St. Louisan is Annie Malone. Annie developed and manufactured her own line of non-damaging hair products for African American women, which was named Wonderful Hair Grower. Her products and sales began to increase, and due to high demand in St. Louis, Annie moved here. By the 1920s, Annie Malone was a multimillionaire, and Malone gave thousands of dollars back to the local YMCA, colleges, and to orphan homes. Today, there is an Annie Malone parade held every year in May. The next person on the list is Susan Blow. She was an American educator who opened the first successful public kindergarten in the United States. In 1873, Susan opened the first kindergarten in Pear. The system was very successful and grew very quickly. Within 3 years, her kindergarten system had 50 teachers and over 1,000 students. And by 1883, every public school in St. Louis had a kindergarten. Steve Cash is an ice sled hockey player from St. Louis who played goalie for the U.S. team. The team won gold in multiple Winter Paralympic Games. Sled hockey is an adaptation of hockey designed for players who have a physical disability. Cash's leg was amputated when he was 3 years old as a result of bone cancer. In high school, Cash played goalie for a full-sided ice hockey team. From 2004 to 2011, he was a member of the Disabled Athlete Sports Association Juniors Blues sled hockey team. In 2010, he won Best Male Athlete with a Disability. On the topic of hockey, John Hamm is also a huge blues hockey fan. John had a really rough childhood. His mom died when he was only 10, and so John moved in with his grandparents and his dad. He then attended John Burroughs High School, and John played on the football team and was very involved in theater. He then attended the University of Texas after turning down football scholarships from Ivy League schools. His time at the university didn't last long, unfortunately, due to the death of his grandmother and later the death of his father. He finished his education at Mizzou, looking for jobs in the meantime. After college, he got a job at his old school, John Burroughs, as a drama teacher, and he taught Ellie Kemper. Shortly after this job, he moved to LA to pursue his acting career. He did little jobs throughout the early 2000s, but made his breakthrough role in 2007 playing Don Draper in the movie Mad Men. After this, John began acting in many movies and even started producing films and shows. Hamm still talks about his hometown and all the things he loves about it. Andy Cohen is most known for being the producer of Real Housewives and the talk show host for What Will Happen Live. He grew up in Clayton and attended and graduated Clayton High School. Andy always talks about the Cardinals and how much he loves them, and they love him too. The Cardinals hosted an Andy Cohen night where they gave the fans their own tiny bobblehead version of Andy and had him throw the first pitch. Andy even named his dog Waka after the St. Louis pitcher Michael Waka. Most known as Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and Erin from The Office, Ellie Kemper is a proud St. Louisan. She grew up in the Ladue neighborhood and went to John Burroughs High School and was taught by John Hamm in theater. Once she graduated in 1998, she went on to attend Princeton. She went on to work with many St. Louisans, including Jenna Fischer, Evan Peters, and Phyllis, who all worked on The Office, along with her sister Carrie, who is the writer of The Office. Her family is one of the wealthiest in Missouri, and she is proud of her St. Louis roots, and even did an interview with Andy Cohen talking about all things St. Louis. James Gunn was born in St. Louis and lived around the Manchester area. He attended SLU High School and then went on to attend St. Louis University. He transferred to New York and got a Master of Fine Arts at Columbia. He started his career in 1990 with the production of Romeo and Juliet and then moved on to projects like Scooby-Doo. He continued with lots of comics until he got presented to direct Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014 and then the sequel in 2017. He was married to Jenna Fischer, another St. Louisan, but they divorced in 2008. Daniel Drake is probably not the type of chef you'd expect to see. Drake is a professional pancake artist. Drake says he didn't have the best high school experience. He didn't get good grades and he didn't go to college. After school, he started working at a diner working for tips. He served a customer with a smiley face pancake and earned a $15 tip. Years later, the self-taught pancake artist went viral. He was on the Today Show for the whole country to see, and after his appearance, people started reaching out. Today, Drake and his team fly around the world to give people any kind of pancake they want. Born and raised in St. Louis, the co-founder of Twitter was found. Dorsey attended Bishop Dubourg High School in the Hill, and he attended University of Missouri-Rolla for 2 years after. He then transferred to New York University and then dropped out a semester before graduating. Working as a programmer, Dorsey moved to California. Twitter came out on March 21, 2006, and the app quickly gained attention. By 2008, Dorsey became the chairman of the board. Since then, Dorsey and his team have been updating Twitter media, technology, and style to keep it up to date. Jack Dorsey is worth $5.5 million as of today. Last but not least on this list is Kennedy Holmes. She was only an 8th grader attending John Burroughs when she went on The Voice. She had presented at the St. Louis Cardinals game where she sang the national anthem and showcased her singing and dancing skills at the St. Louis Muni. On September 24th, Kennedy auditioned for The Voice. She got 4 yeses from the judges and picked Jennifer Hudson as her judge. She made it up to the top 3 before getting eliminated, but her loss didn't make her stop singing. She has over 100K followers on Instagram and more than 12 million views on her YouTube audition video.